Shalom, Israel. We are the Isupk under Commander General Yohana, coming out of 125th Street and 1 West, Harlem, New York. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group on the planet. This is the Feast of Purim. Shalaki. We got a call-in number, so if you want to access us, got any questions, you can call in, or you can put the questions in the box, in the Facebook box or the YouTube box. But that call-in number is 712-832-8330, and the other number is 218-339-7800. Both of those have the same access pins, which is 825-1636. And we're gonna get right into it today. Give me Esther 9:1. We're gonna start at the beginning of the chapter. Well, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians need to understand that these these feast days are days to commemorate, the blessings of the Lord. To commemorate all the things that the Lord has done for us, for Him looking out for us. Like at the like the Passover, for instance. We was almost slain by the Egyptians. We was almost slain by the Egyptians. Here we was almost slain by the Persians. With the Feast of Purim. All of these feast days are days with meaning behind them. Meaning behind them. Whereas, like, the Lord showed that He loves Israel. He showed that He loves blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. He shows it time and time again. And this is nothing new. That's why we still celebrate the Feast of Purim to this day. Because, not only is it a commandment, but, we appreciative of all the things. We should be appreciative of all the things that the Lord have done for us. And in Isupk, we give all glory to the Most High always and forever.
Right.
So, we gonna celebrate these feast days and these days that the Lord ordered for us to celebrate. We're gonna come together, and this is a day like Christians love to give presents on Christmas and stuff like that. This similar to that. Every time get together, every time blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians get together, they always cooking it up, always feasting, always kicking it, always vibing with one another, always doing their thing and stuff like that. But it was always in our customs on this day, on this particular feast day, for us to give presents and give gifts to one another. Bring food and commune with one another. That's what we did on the Feast of Purim. That's what we did on all of these different feast days and stuff like that. So if you want to celebrate a holiday and you want to give your kids gifts, you want to give your people gifts, this is the prime day to do it. You act like there is no days in the nation of Israel where you can't. It's just designated for us to kick it, eat, and give gifts. Commune with one another. And just keep each other company. You act like it ain't no days according to that. You act like it ain't no days that we do that in. We have many a days that we do that in. Therefore, you don't have to celebrate a pagan holiday. You don't have to celebrate things that don't matter, that go against the Lord. When the Lord showed us so much love, so much honor, the Lord gave us Shalaki. The Lord spared us so much. The Lord spared us so much. With these days, these heathens was looking to kill us. And we're gonna get right into it with these verses. Go ahead, about Esther 9:1.
Esther chapter 9, verse 1. Now in the 12th month, that is the month Adar, On the 13th day of the same, when the king's commandment and his decree drew near to be put in execution.
Now if you know the background of this story, if you don't, I'm gonna get into it a little bit. You know, probably a lot of it because it's all about this today. So I'm gonna get into it. The king, what was his name?
Ahasuerus.
That's the king. That wasn't his. That wasn't the king that wanted Israel to perish. Which they didn't care about Israel. He didn't care about Israel either. He had a man under him that he put in second in command under him that just hated Israel. And he hated Israel because a brother named Mordecai, you know, within our nation, he didn't want to serve. He didn't want to serve this brother. He didn't want to serve this man. You know, he didn't want to serve, I believe his name was, let me get his name. You know, matter of fact, continue to read.
In the day that the enemies of the Jews hoped to have power over them,
right?
Though it was turned to the contrary, that the Jews had ruled over them that hated them.
Right. And who they talking about? His name was Haman. Haman was the name of the king, but he really wasn't the king. But you know, he came forth to the king. And what was the king name?
Ahasuerus.
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 You know, Ahasuerus, his name was, a lot of people might know, was Xerxes. You know, Xerxes is a Persian king. He was a Persian king that, you know, that did, you know, a lot of heinous things. Like Xerxes, the Persians were really, really filthy. That was like, they compared themselves to like, they would be compared to like Moab or Ammon of today. You know, the Asians. You know how they eat all of that wicked stuff, how they eat bats and stuff like that. The Persians didn't necessarily eat all of the stuff that, you know, the Asians was eating, but they did a lot of exotic things like homosexuality, like transgender. They was doing all of that type of stuff. They was doing things like that, you know, transgender. Men, you don't know if the men is women and different things like that. So, you know, the Persians was some filthy people.
That's right.
It was a filthy nation. And, you know, Xerxes was the king. He was ruling at that time. And, you know, if anybody knew about the Persians in their time of rule, they were slaughtering any and everything. If you didn't bow down to them, they was slaughtering you. They was killing you. They was doing things to you that, you know, that was heinous. Like similar to what Hitler and Stalin did in, you know, the early 1900s and stuff like that. So that's who we talking about right now. We talking about the Persians. They was in rulership at this time, and you know we was under them right now. You know, but Haman was the particular second in command who had the beef, had the strife with Israel, with the Jews. You know, so continue to read, y'all.
The Jews gathered themselves together,
right,
in their cities throughout all the provinces of the king Ahasuerus.
Now look, the Jews gathered themselves together. What we need to understand is that the more we come together, the more we unite, the stronger we are. History has already shown that repeatedly. When blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians come together, they cannot be touched. They cannot be touched. They cannot be fooled with. You know, they become the strongest people on earth. You know, especially with the Lord blessing us and backing us. You know, we become the strongest nation on earth. So with that being said, you know, only way for us to ever win, and our history book shows it, which is the Bible, you know, only way for us to win is for us to unite. You know, for us to come together. And that's what we got to do with the white man or the oppressor that we that we're serving under right now. We have to unite.
That's
We
right.
have to become one. That's why under Commander General Yohana, he ordered all Israel to come together, all Israel to come to the Passover. He didn't just order the Isupk. He ordered all the other Israelite camps, that think they're in the truth. All the other Christians. If you Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, you need to come to the 51st Passover, which is in New York. You need to come to that Passover because only way for us to prevail, only way for us to get ahead is for us to unite. With that being said, go ahead, Bob.
To lay hand on such as sought their hurt, and no man could withstand them, for the fear of them fell upon all people.
See, no man could withstand them. No man can withstand Israel when we come together. When we come together, we become so dominant and so strong. We become fearful. And that's what all of these nations are really scared of. They ain't scared of no brother in all black suit with a bow tie and selling bean pie. The white man ain't scared of you because you got a suit on. He don't care about that. The white man ain't scared because you got one of them Asian ninja suits on. The white man is not scared of that. The white man is scared of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, coming together, uniting under their original culture. Which the white man spent billions, he spent billions a year to cover up the fact that we are Israelites. He spent billions. That's a lot of money. If you're not listening to me, I said billions of dollars a year. The national debt is like a couple trillion, ain't it?
Okay.
Yeah, so if the national debt is a couple trillion, and it took what, 100 years to get to that? Imagine the white man spending billions a year just to cover up our identity with the Smithsonian's and different libraries and these different nations. He's doing everything that he can to cover up the fact that we God's chosen people. And he started that with the Taino Indians. They knew that who they were. They knew who the Taino Indians were and the North American Indians. They knew who they were already. So in turn, they started destroying ancient artifacts, anything relating them to being Hebrew, to them being Israelites. They spoke the Hebrew language. They started destroying tablets with the Taino Indian and the North American Indians with their writing, with the writing on the tablets. They seen that they was writing in Hebrew, so they started destroying. These are the measures in which the white man goes to just to cover up our heritage.
Right.
How much more important it is for us to embrace our heritage. Go ahead. You got some more from me, bro.
Khan. And all the rulers of the provinces and the lieutenants and the deputies and the officers of the king helped the Jews because the fear of Mordecai fell upon them.
Now Mordecai, this brother was a strong brother. In the beginning of the chapters of Esther, you will read that Mordecai, he didn't bow down to Haman. So this what pissed them off. White people always feel privileged to, for somebody to show them reverence. If you don't show white people respect or reverence, they tend to get mad. Imagine being on your job and the owner walk in, and you know how everybody at the job, they be like, hey, there go the owner, and they be speaking to him. The owner barely saying anything to half of him. And Shalaki, imagine this brother, he don't even turn around. Not only do he not turn around to speak to the owner of the company, but he just continue doing his work. He act like ain't nothing fazed him. You know, that's what type of brother this was, Mordecai. That's what type of strong brother this was. And you know, of course, people in the world and people at your slavery, your co-workers, they gonna start looking at that as, you know, oh, he think he better than me. He think he better than us. Oh, why he don't never say nothing to the owner? You know, because one thing with a sellout and an Uncle Tom and Shalakia, my language, an ass kisser. You know, one thing with them, they love to be around people like just like them. If they're around people that's not like them, you know what starts to happen to them? Anybody? What starts to happen to somebody who sucks up? Imagine this person sucking up to the boss every day, and you won't never suck up to the boss ever. And he see you, and you just y'all looking at each other, but he's sucking up every day. He kissing ass every day. You know what starts to happen with that person?
Slot.
Go ahead.
He begins to hate you.
Yeah, he begins to starts to hate you and get offended. You know, so in turn, that's what starts to happen with Mordecai. You know, every time this general came in, every time this general came around, everybody bowed down. Everybody bowed down, but Mordecai was like, I'm not bowing down to nobody except the Most High. You know, we about to get that verse. Give me a second. Hold that verse where you at, Abon, and give me Esther 3 and 2. You know, because Mordecai, he was a strong brother. You know, and after a while, your co-workers, they become envious of you. They become envious of you because they know what they got to do to get their position, to keep their job, but you in the same position as them, and you don't even do half of what they do. They become embarrassed. They start to hate you. What are some things that one of your coworkers might start doing? Anybody? With a coworker like that, what are some things that they might start doing at your job?
A lot.
Go ahead.
Try to find things to get you fired or brought down.
Right. They start nitpicking with you, start dry snitching on you, start throwing you under the bus, start trying to embarrass you, start ridicule you. Or you don't never come in to the job dinners. You don't never come.
Right.
You don't like us or something? I had a sidebar real quick. I had an employee. Not an employee because it wasn't my employee. She should be my employee. She gonna be my employee when the kingdom come.
Right.
But she was an Edomite. She was white, and a girl gonna say like I never dwell with the the job on the dinners and the meals that they made and bought for the company and stuff like that. So long story short, this one particular time it was Thanksgiving, and they ordered all of these subs, these big old subs and stuff like that. You know, everybody was in there for Thanksgiving and stuff like that. And they was wondering why I was the only one not in the lunchroom. You know, and come to find out, one of the brothers at the job told me that she said to the owner that, oh, he don't like us. He don't like us, and he don't like chilling with us. He don't like basically chilling with us, being a part of the dinners and the meals and stuff like that. Note that I never said that. That is how I feel though.
Right.
But I never said it. I never said those words, and in turn, the owner stopped liking me. You know, and you know the moral of the story. I got fired for something I don't even know what I did, but you know, the moral of the story, That's what co-workers do. When they see you don't bow down, when they see you don't ask kids, when you having morals and integrity, all I wanted to do was work and go home. That's it. Get my 40 hours and get up out of there. I didn't really want to talk to nobody. I didn't want to kick it with nobody. You know, everybody used to try to talk to me. You know, I wasn't antisocial. I wasn't an asshole. But I wasn't really talkative. Like, you know, I stayed to myself. But all of a sudden, I get fired out of the blue for no reason. They really didn't say why they fired me, just that they don't feel like I was working as hard as I was when I first started came on. You know, and that's BS because our department was like a week and a half ahead on all the orders that we had. You know, so we wouldn't be on. And in reality, I could have just came. Everybody in my department could have just came and chilled for a whole week, and I did nothing. You know, that's how far ahead we were. But the white man don't care about that. Right. He don't care about the production. He don't care about the money that I'm making him. What he cares about is me not having no morals, me not having no integrity, me basically being a beggar unto him. That's what he wants to see. That's what the Edomites at your job want to see. That's what these heathens want to see. They want to see you begging. They want to see you shucking and jiving every time they come around, just so you can keep your job. That's what they want. But you got that verse for me, Abon? Go ahead.
Esther chapter 3, verse 2. And all the king's servants that were in the king's gate bowed and reverenced.
You see this? All the king's servants. All Xerxes' servants, when Xerxes and Haman came in, everybody bowing, everybody showing obedience. Go ahead.
Bowed and reverenced Haman, for the king had so commanded concerning him. But Mordecai bowed not.
Mordecai did what?
Bowed not.
Mordecai did what?
Bowed not.
Mordecai didn't bow. Mordecai, that ain't got nothing to do with it. That Thanksgiving dinner, that ain't got nothing to do with it. I'm not working less. I'm not more of an angry person. I'm not hated. I'm not hating nobody because I don't want to come eat your food. If somebody don't want to eat my food, I'm like, all right, cool. Don't give them none more for me. That's how I would have looked at it. But they didn't look at it like that. They looked at it like it was disgraceful. Like I should be happy. And before she ordered it, sidebar real quick, before she ordered the white chick that said that about me in the lunchroom, before she ordered, I was in a main office. It was like a week before she ordered it. And I was happened to be walking past and I seen her on her computer with the other brother. And, you know, they was ordering it then. And, you know, and I walk up to the brother because he was Native American too. He was Native American. And so I walk up to the brother and I was like, what y'all doing? They was like ordering the Thanksgiving dinner. I was like, oh yeah, I ain't taking no parts in that. You know, I'm Native American. You know, I'm not Native American. I'm from the tribe of Judah. But, you know, I say that just to honor my brothers.
Right.
To show that I'm for my brothers. You know, I'm with all the 12 tribes. I'm all the 12 tribes. I'm Ephraim. I'm Manasseh. I'm Isupk. I'm Gad. I'm everything.
That's right.
You know, I'm all the 12 tribes. You know, anytime I see injustice done to them, I'm part of the 12 tribes. You know, so with that being said, I said that to him. He said, me too. I was like, then why are you celebrating Thanksgiving? That's like somebody, a black man celebrate transatlantic slave day. That's like a black man celebrating that. Like, it doesn't make any sense. He said he didn't say nothing actually. And the white chick gonna intervene and say, well, do you want some food or not? And I said, not. I don't want none of your food. I don't need to eat here. Like she made it seem like I was homeless or I was starving or something. She said, "Do you want some food or not? Do you want a sandwich or not?" She was appalled that I said not. I don't need to eat there. Like it's ridiculous how much the white man think you should beg him.
Right.
How much you should wait hand and foot for him. So I just want to throw that in there because this is the same thing that's happening to Mordecai right now. You know, everything just repeats itself. Everything under the sun repeats itself. What's going on with us happened already, and it's going to happen again and again and again and again. So with that being said, go ahead and finish reading that for me, Abon. What?
Nor did him reverence.
Nor did he do him reverence. Go ahead.
Then the king's servants, which were in the king's gate, said unto Mordecai, why transgressest thou the king's commandment?
Now you hear this, right? Y'all hear this? Why the servants that was in the gates with Mordecai, they said, why transgress the king's commandment? Basically, like, why you in bow, nigga? You see the owner in there, why you don't say nothing to him? You rude. Like, first of all, the owner don't even speak to y'all. He don't even say nothing to y'all. That's how our owner was. Our owner came in the facility, in the warehouse, and it's like he put on his fast pacers, his fast loafers, because he be in and out of the warehouse. Because everybody running up to him, hey, Larry, what's going on, Larry? And he shaking his head, some on me act like he don't even hear. Like, why would I run up to somebody and do something like that? Do you do that to people on the street? That's like you running up to the owner of a car wash because you at the car wash getting your car washed. You run up to him, or you trying to talk to him and stuff like that. He don't even know you. That's how Larry was. He was fast pacing it through the warehouse. He had to be every bit of 50, 60. He was the way he was walking. He was walking like he was 19, damn near running. So but that's exactly what's going on right here. Look at them. They like why you didn't keep the king's commandment? Why you ain't bowing down to him? Why you want to be hard-headed? Why can't you be an ass kisser? Why you gotta stand up for what you believe in? Let me tell you all about another job, a sidebar. The job got mad at me because I didn't want to cut my beard. I told them it was a sin for me. Even though they didn't fire me because of that, I believe they let me go because of that. Because all of a sudden, out of the blue, it was through a temp service. Out of the blue, the temp service said they didn't want to work with me because I was a felon. I've been working at the job for 3 months already.
Right.
You would think you would say something about my felony before you place me on the job. And not just that, the job was like, they liked me and stuff like that. So they liked it the way I work, my work ethic. When I told them that I couldn't cut my beard, it's a part of my, you got to tell the white man whatever he needs to hear. I told him it was part of my religion. Which, when you say something a part of your religion, they cannot technically discriminate against you. So I said cutting my beard was against my religion. They said, okay, give me your priest number and all of that stuff, and we're going to check up on it and everything like that. I believe, because I gave them Captain DeGaule's number. That's my priest. I gave them Captain DeGaule's number and stuff. I gave them one of our flyers and stuff like that. I believe they researched it and they stopped liking me because of it. But they didn't let me go right there. When the temp service said they didn't want to work with me no more, the job said, oh, don't worry about it. I came to the job, I was like, they don't want to work with me no more. So, and I'm at my 3-month period already. Y'all should just hire me on through the company. He was like, yeah, we're going to do that. He was like, okay, just go to this temp service and we're going to just hire you through the company, through them and stuff like that. just to finish out your couple weeks, your 1 or 2 weeks, I believe I had left, probably like 3 at most. Finish out your last couple weeks and stuff like that, because we gotta hire from the temp service. That's BS. They don't have to hire through the temp service.
Right.
They could just hire you right there if they really wanted to. But they giving me a whole bunch of BS. So I go to this other temp service that they told me that they work with that to go to it. I go to it. Long story short, I'm calling the temp service every day. Like 3-4 days go past. I'm not trying to have no holes in my check. I'm not trying to have no gaps in my check. So I keep calling the temp service like, what's going on? He's like, they ain't getting back to me. They ain't getting back to me. They ain't getting back to them. So I'm calling the job. The job saying that the temp service ain't getting back to them. So long story short, the temp service ended up telling me that they didn't want to work with me no more because they didn't like my background and stuff like that and different things like that. Whatever it was, it's just the fact that, when you have morals, when you stand up, and I was cool with the second shift supervisor. He was over the whole plant, the second shift. He was like third or fourth in command, and he was a brother. And I was real cool from, it's actually a brother that I bought my pit from. He breed dogs and stuff like that. So he real cool and stuff like that. And he was giving me inside feedback on what they was doing. He was like, bro, I don't believe it's none of that. I don't believe it's your record. Because he said, I got a record. I was in prison all of my 30s and some of my all of my 30s and some of my 40s for murder. And he was the supervisor, making over 100,000 a year. So the moral of the story is that whenever Israel, especially in this kingdom, whenever Israel stand up for the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, I'm not saying that it ain't gonna be prosecution. I'm not saying that it's gonna be a smooth ride. But that's what the Lord did. He put us in hell to make it harder for us to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. Because when we was in Israel and it was easy, we didn't want to do it. When we had our own land and we worked under our own people and we had our own businesses, we didn't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We act like they was burdensome. We tried to finesse the Lord and keep sinning and sacrificing goats and sheep. So the Lord said, you know what? I'm gonna put you in. I'm gonna put you in hell. I'm gonna put you in hell, and guess what? You still gonna have to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, or it's gonna be worse than hell for you in that hell. And that's what's taking place right now. But that's similar to the story that's happening with Mordecai. And now look, these heathens, whether they heathens or not, Haman was a heathen. Xerxes is a heathen. They all white. So, the rest of these these civilians, they probably heathens. So give me some more on that, Abban. You can jump back to the article. Slide. Give me what you was on 30, verse 30.
3 verse 4 now.
All right, read 4.
Come. Now it came to pass when they spake daily unto him.
They spoke what?
Daily unto him.
These civilians on Mordecai, but daily. They talking to him daily about this. Like every time he come in to work, like, you ain't gonna bow down to the king? For real? For real. Like, man, you just tripping, man. I'll talk to you tomorrow. You ain't bow down to the king today? What's wrong with you? Like, they was on him daily. Like, and Mordecai, like, man, what the hell? Like, just like somebody at your job, like you refuse to go to the Thanksgiving dinner. They're like, man, bro, that gonna be good, man. You better come get you a sandwich. All you gotta do is get you a sandwich. You ain't gotta celebrate it. Getting the sandwich is celebrating. Getting the sandwich is showing support of it. You know, in reality, all blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians supposed to not take them sandwiches. All them sandwiches from blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians supposed to be sitting right in that cafeteria. Right there, ready to rock. Or them heathens eat it. Who cares? But they gonna know that we standing up for each other. We uniting with each other. We love one another. That genocide, that 70 million Taino Indians that they killed to take over this land, you know, that means something. But to the average Jake in the world, that don't mean nothing. And the white man shows us all the time that it means nothing.
Right.
It means nothing for us to, you know, that's why Black lives don't matter. That's why stuff like that, it doesn't matter. The white man look at it and he laughs and he mocks it. He make a mockery of it. And what do he say? All lives matter. And then he take the attention off of you and put it on him. All lives matter. All lives ain't being killed. All lives ain't being starved. All lives ain't being murdered every time the police pull them over. You know, that's not happening to all lives. It's not happening to that. It's not happening to the Asians. It's happening now to the Asians. But boy, they racial profiling the mess out of these Asians, ain't that? Man, the white man mess around and shoot an Asian in the forehead. He come up to him. He gonna think he got coronavirus. You know, that's the Lord. And to go into something real fast, sidebar real quick, to show the lack of brotherhood that us sellouts and coons, well, not us in the Isupk, but these sellouts and coons be having. Look at LeBron James. Look at LeBron James. He said LeBron James playing every game that he can. He make it his duty to play in every single game, every playoff game, every championship game. You know, when blacks getting shot by the police, when that Trayvon Martin thing happened, what he do? Put a hoodie on for Trayvon? All right, you put a hoodie on for Trayvon, but once the league said, "Oh, y'all still gonna get paid, but we gonna start having games without fans to prevent the spread of coronavirus." What's the problem, LeBron? LeBron said, "I will not play. If we can't play in front of fans, I will not play." Where was that same energy when Trayvon got killed? Why didn't you say, "I know I ain't playing today"? When Colin Kaepernick got expelled from the NFL, when Tamir Rice died, when Sandra Bland died, when Mike Brown died, where was that same energy? But now they racial profiling the Asians because they got a deadly plague, and you say you're not going to play, and they still going to pay you millions and millions of dollars, and you still get to do the thing that you love. That's going to be easier for you. And come to think about it, you ain't in front of no fans. So it's like, can't nobody really ridicule you. So y'all just playing, the two teams just playing against each other at the highest level they can. Because they ain't got to worry about people booing them, throwing cups at them, talking about their mamas, talking about their kids, doing all of that stuff. They ain't got to worry about that stuff. And I still get my hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm all for it. Where was that energy at when that stuff happened to Trayvon? All he did was throw on the damn hoodie. He had his team throw on the damn hoodie. But since the league don't want your dumb sellout behind to catch the coronavirus, you say, "Oh, hell no, I ain't playing. I ain't playing." Nope, that's where we draw the line at. You know, nope, I'm standing up. Nope. I love them Asians. They should be able to spread that coronavirus. We should all be able to get that coronavirus. That's how LeBron is thinking. You know, with that being said, go ahead and read the rest of it. 4.
He hearkened not unto them that they told Haman.
Hey, look, they did what?
They told Haman.
They did what you said they was gonna do about?
They told.
They told. They said, oh no, man. Every day I come in and this nigga ain't bowing down. He ain't reverencing Haman. Oh hell no. Guess who we about to go to? They went and right in what you said earlier about they dry snitch on you, they tell on you, they try to do things to get you fired. And because of this right here, this general or whoever he is, whatever he was, second in command to Xerxes, you know, he brought it upon himself. You could jump back to the other verses we was reading. You know, he brought it upon himself to feel disrespected. You know, he felt disrespected. You know, go ahead with them verses.
For Mordecai was great in the king's house, and his fame went out throughout all the provinces.
You know, they wanted to mess Mordecai up. Haman thought to himself in the earlier chapters, you'll read that Haman thought to himself, he said, you know what, I'm just gonna kill Mordecai. Yeah, all right. He had to think about that one. He had to rethink that one. Mordecai, his what went throughout the king's house?
His fame.
His fame went out throughout the king's house. You know why his fame? Anybody know why his fame went out throughout the king's house?
It's a lot.
Go ahead.
Because he was a warrior.
He was a warrior. Mordecai was that man. That's like you see somebody at your job and y'all don't get along, and you say, you know what? I'm gonna meet old boy in the parking lot because we be having too much beef. And then everybody at the job like, hey bro, I don't think you want to do that. I don't think. Maybe Carl, maybe Tommy or somebody, but Mordecai, oh no, you don't want to do that. The last nigga, he bashed his head in with his bare hand and snatched his heart out of his chest. Like what?
Right.
Telling some immaculate story, you know that? Be telling some crazy story. Like that's how Mordecai was. His fame went out the whole kingdom. He was a straight warrior. Mordecai didn't play them games. So man, we thought that. He said, you know what? Just like a evil cracker, he wanted to do what? We gonna read it. Go ahead, continue to read.
For this man Mordecai waxed greater and greater.
Right.
Thus the Jews smote all their enemies with the stroke of the sword, and slaughter and destruction, and did what they would unto those that hated them.
Right. The Jews, they was killing everybody. When we unite, is no touching us. That's like us uniting with us all the tribes uniting, and we got a huge brother like Shaquille O'Neal or somebody leading a hymn. Like we got this big old brother, he killed about every battle like 100 brothers, 100 people, and the rest of the army's killing everybody else.
Right.
But he able to slaughter 102 by himself. You know, that's how Mordecai was. And that's how Israel was at this time. You know, we was under, no doubt we was under the Persians. We knew not to mess with the Persians, but the Persians knew not really to mess with us. You know, we was already conquered. The Persians was in control of the whole world. You know, but that's how we is. We Israelites. We don't mess with people unless they come bothering us. All these nations hate Israel because we got morals, we got integrity, we got laws, statutes, and commandments. They come messing with us. Oh, y'all think y'all better than us. That's what they do. We don't mess with everybody, but we will defend ourselves. You know what they say, I ain't a killer, but don't push me.
Right.
That's Israel for real. You know, go ahead.
And in Shushan, the palace, the Jews slew and destroyed 500 men.
Continue.
And Parshandata, and Daphan, and Aspata, and Porata, and Adalia, and Aritata,
Right.
and Parmashta.
Skip down to verse 10.
Verse 10. The 10 sons of Haman, the son of Hamadatha, the enemy of the Jews, slew they, but on the spoil laid they not their hands.
So Mordecai slew. Now they at war, because Mordecai, he was trying to kill. Haman was trying to kill Mordecai, but you know Mordecai talked to Israel into, you know, because Mordecai was like, he was depressed. Mordecai went out in sackcloth and threw dirt upon his head, and he was grieving greatly because he knew, I don't want to say this, because it's gonna get a story away, but he was grieving greatly because, you know, he didn't even do nothing. He didn't do nothing to Haman, and Haman wanted him dead. You know, he wanted him dead for no reason. So he grieved to the Lord greatly. You know, but now they at war, and Xerxes gave Haman all the power in the world. You know, I think he gave him 10,000, I believe it's 10,000 shekels, which is equivalent to like 23 million today, or 93 million today. So he gave just to do something that the story gonna prevail later on. Go ahead. Reveal later on, Shalom.
On that day, the number of those that were slain in Shushan the palace was brought before the king. And the king said unto Esther the queen, the Jews have slain and destroyed 500 men in Shushan the palace. And the 10 sons of Haman, what have they done in the rest of the king's provinces?
Now, Mordecai, he's coming to Esther like, you know, Esther, and she was a loyal sister too. She didn't want to be queen. She didn't want to be ruler. She wasn't a ruler. You know, she didn't want to be queen though. You know, she didn't want to be queen over heathens. She didn't want to be a queen and have to marry a heathen. So you know, that sister was loyal and down too. And you know, Mordecai got her on his side. You know, so all Israel is just slaughtering throughout the province of Xerxes of the Persian Empire. You know, continue.
Now what is thy petition? And it shall be granted thee. Or what is thy request further? And it shall be done. Then said Esther, if it please the king, let it be granted to the Jews which are in Shushan to do tomorrow also according unto this day's decree. And let Haman's 10 sons be hanged upon the gallows.
So the Jews, after they was slaughtering throughout the province of Persia, of the Persian Empire, and all the ones who wanted to slaughter the Jews, after they was after they slaughtered all of them, Mordecai just basically asked like, what did the Jews want for their service? You know, and what do the Jews want for, you know, for uniting, you know, for the brothers coming together and stuff like that. And they said the Jews requested for Haman's 10 sons to be hung on the gallows. They already killed them. They wanted to show them, like, they wanted to show the other nations that, you know, not to mess with Israel. They wanted to make a spectacle of Haman's sons. How you think that gonna fare well with Haman? Go ahead.
And the king commanded it so to be done. And a decree was given at Shushan, and they hanged Haman's 10 sons.
Go ahead.
For the Jews that were in Shushan gathered themselves together on the 14th day also of the month Adar, and slew 300 men at Shushan. But on the prey they laid not their hand. But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together.
And on the prey they laid not their hand, meaning that the prey was what was left over. After they murdered the enemies of us, after we murdered our enemies, of course they had riches. Of course they had things that that we could have took, but we laid our hands on it not. We let them keep everything. We didn't even want the riches and the spoils of what they had. We just wanted to slaughter them because Haman, his vicious intent was to do harm, and his vicious intent was something greater. But it's gonna be down some more in the articles. I mean, in the verses. So we're gonna continue to read. Go ahead.
But the other Jews that were in the king's provinces gathered themselves together and stood for their lives, and had rest from their enemies, and slew of their foes 75,000.
Right.
But they laid not their hands on the prey. On the 13th day of the month Adar, and on the 14th day of the same rested day, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. But the Jews that were at Shushan assembled together on the 13th day thereof, and on the 14th day thereof, and on the 15th day of the same they rested, and made it a day of feasting and gladness. Therefore the Jews of the villages that dwelt in the unwalled towns made the 14th day of the month Adar a day of gladness and feasting, and a good day, and of sending portions one to another.
Right.
And Mordecai wrote these things.
And that's what we used to do. We used to send portions to each other, portions and gifts. You know, I think you skipped over that. That they should make them days of feasting. You was on 22, right?
Verse 19.
Or you was on 19?
Kind. And of sending portions one to another.
Right. Go ahead, jump down to verse 22.
Verse 22. As the days were in, the Jews rested from their enemies, and the month which was turned unto them from sorrow to joy, and from mourning into a good day, that they should make them days of feasting and joy.
Right.
And of sending portions one to another, and gifts to the poor.
All right, see, now, we was giving gifts out. We was giving gifts out. We was giving different things to each other because we was happy that the Lord had our back. We was happy that the Lord blessed us. So we gave gifts to one another. You know, we don't have to celebrate wicked holidays and wicked feast days and pagan holidays just to commune with one another. We have that within our culture. You just gotta identify your culture and identify who you are. You know, and in the Isupk under Commander General Yana, that's what we're doing. You know, we here to help you identify your culture. We here to help you know who you are. But if you don't want to come in here, if you don't want to come into the classes, all we can do is show you the water. Can't make you drink it. That's all we can do. And you know, with that being said, with us celebrating pagan holidays, you know, that's what causes the Lord to have anger with us. You know, rage and anger with us because we doing things that we ain't even gotta do. That's like, I know you always heard your parents like, why did you do that? You don't even have to do that. You know, that's how the Lord looking at us when we already got feast days. Why can't you hang out with your cousins? Why can't you give gifts? Why can't you do all of that on the feast days that the Lord ordained for us? Shalaki. Give me um give me Deuteronomy 32 and 22. Hold that. Give me Deuteronomy 32 and 22. Because we got to understand that the Lord is not playing games with us. He don't care about all of that, oh, well, the Lord knows my heart. Oh, I'm gonna come back to him when I get ready, when I get myself together. You ain't gonna never get yourself together. Because you don't know that you gotta keep them laws, statutes, and commandments. You don't know that you gotta stop eating shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. You don't know that. So how can you get yourself together? How can you come to the Lord with yourself together? You know, you got that verse for me up.
Kind of all kind.
Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 22. For a fire is kindled in my anger, and shall burn unto the lowest hell, and shall consume the earth with her increase, and set on fire the foundations of the mountain.
That's what the Lord is saying. The mountains are these empires. These empires is a metaphor. Mountains is a metaphor for empires in the Bible. So is trees, you know, different stuff like that. It's different metaphors for empires in the Bible. But the Lord said, you have kindled a fire deep, deep in me. Because you don't, the Lord loves us. He brought us out of Egypt. He brought us out of Egypt. Not a hair or a scratch was harmed on our bodies. Nothing. He killed all the firstborn of the Egyptians. The Lord brought us out of Persia. He brought us out of Babylon. He about to bring us out of the daughter of Babylon. The Lord loves us. Look what the Lord, time and time again. When are we going to show love for the Lord? When is we going to extinguish that fire that's burning within the Lord? And it's very easy. All we got to do is keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's all we got to do. All we got to do is follow the Lord. That's all we got to do. Do these things which is not burdensome unto us. You know, the Lord said he will yet choose Israel again in Isaiah. You know, we got to understand these things, and we got to stop being so selfish. Stop being so selfish and thinking about us and ourselves and our own life.
That's right.
And start making some sacrifices for the Lord, because look how many sacrifices he made for us. The Feast of Purim. He made a big sacrifice for us. You know this cat, Haman, we can finish reading. I believe it said it down some in there. Might have been earlier in the chapters. Probably overread it, but yeah, go ahead and finish some more. I think it says something in there. If not, then I'm just gonna tell you.
Kind. Verse 23. And the Jews undertook to do as they had begun, and as Mordecai had written unto them, because Haman, the son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, the enemy of all the Jews, had devised against the Jews to destroy them, and had cast Purim.
There it is. He had devised to destroy. This is how white people think. He didn't just want to kill Mordecai no more. He put out a request to Xerxes, the king of Persia, to destroy. That's why Xerxes gave him so much money. Gave him what equivalent to today, $93 million. He gave him that much money to destroy all of Israel. The kids, the women. This Haman wanted to destroy all of Israel. Not just Mordecai, and that's why Mordecai grieved. That's why he went out in the field and prayed unto the Lord in sackcloth and threw dust upon his head. Because he was like, not only do he, I would understand if he wanted to kill me. I wouldn't even have no problem with it. I'm used to it. Like, that's probably what Mordecai was saying. I'm used to it. I'm used to people hating on me. But he got commission from the king to destroy all of Israel. The babies, the kids, the women, the old folks. He got commission to destroy all of Israel. So Mordecai was grieved. He was like, man, I don't want my whole nation to die because of what? Lord knows you know that I ain't even do nothing.
Right.
I ain't even do nothing to this man. He want to kill me. That's how white people look at you. White people don't just want to kill one. White people are secretly, devising plans to kill all of them. And that's why the Israelites said, that's why the Israelites didn't touch none of the spoil after they conquered them. After they conquered them, they didn't touch none of the spoil, meaning the riches, the gold, the clothes, the fine linen, the cattle, none of that. We didn't touch none of that. We don't want none of that. That's why they asked, Mordecai asked Esther, what you want to do? What do the Jews in your province want to do? And they said, we want them to hang from the gallows, all his 10 sons, because this man set out a decree to kill every last Jew. Imagine Donald Trump saying he giving $1 billion to the whole world, ISIS, Border Patrol, police officers, National Guards. He got $1 billion to spend on eradicating all of us off the face of the earth. It don't matter how you kill them. Just kill them. If they're Israelite, kill them. You know how many people would be out our head?
Right.
You know what they be trying to do to us? You think it's bad now. Imagine a decree going out like that. We would be forced to do nothing but unite. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will be forced to do nothing but unite. So we got to understand that, it's high time for us to come together. Like all of these things, like that's why we still do the things that we do. That's why the Lord said, let this be a feast unto you forever. Because ain't nothing in changed on this earth. These nations are doing the same things unto us as they've been doing for the longest. Like here, give me Sparky, give me a quick second. Give me 1 Kings 10 and 9. We got to understand this is a powerful verse that I'm finna pull, because we got to understand the position that the Most High is in, and where His mind is at, where His presence is at with concerning us. We got to understand these things. We gotta know that the Lord has never forsaken us. When will we get it together? We gotta get it together. It's more to life than twerking. It's more to life than kicking it and playing all the time. It's more to life than going out to eat and building you a business. buying you a car, getting you a $10,000 wedding ring. It's more to life than all those things. You know, it's more to life than that. You got that verse for me up? Go ahead.
1 Kings chapter 10, verse 9. Blessed be the Lord thy God.
Blessed be who?
The Lord thy God.
Damn right. Blessed be the Lord thy God. Go ahead.
Which delighteth in thee.
Delighteth in who?
In thee.
The Lord delights in us. He delights in us. Do you all understand what delight means? The Lord delights in us. And look how wicked we are. Look at all the things that we do to hurt the Lord. Look how many times we turn our back on the Lord. Look how many times we spit in the face of the Lord. And he delights in us? Go ahead.
To set thee on the throne of Israel.
Right?
Because the Lord loved Israel forever.
The Lord loves who?
Israel.
He said, the Lord said, I love you forever. Do we deserve that? Hell no. We do not deserve the love of the Lord. And I see why Satan do the things that he do. I see why the angels, why these demons is plaguing us left and right. Because we ain't worthy of the Lord. The angels serve the Lord day and night without fail, doing everything the Lord says. Which the Lord, he deserves that. But here come the Lord's beloved, O Israel. And you can't even stop eating a damn pork chop sandwich. A pork chop sandwich, really? You got so many different sandwiches to eat, and you can't let go of pork chop sandwich. You don't know, oh, your world gonna end. You all are distraught. Brothers that can't be, they really be pondering what else there is to eat. Is there anything else to eat? Do y'all not understand that the Lord loves us? You know why Israel is not destroyed from the drug epidemic? You know why Israel is not destroyed from the abortion epidemic?
Right.
Or the prison epidemic? Or the job, mass incarceration, the job epidemic, the unemployment epidemic? How many epidemics is it concerning us? We should be long gone. Y'all niggas ain't that good. Y'all ain't that great. It's a force that's keeping us up. It's a presence that has loved us forever. Every nation of the earth hates us. And they got the right to. Look how we treat our God. After the God, he destroys nation after nation for us. And we can't come to a simple understanding to obey the Lord. That's like your parents doing everything for you. Every time you ask them, they there. Every time you depressed and sorrow, they there. They uplift you. You ain't nothing wrong with your life. All your parents ask is not to smoke weed. Not to go out when I don't want you to, because something might happen to you. You can't seem to come, they get you all the jazz. You wear all the nice clothes, all of that. They there for you every time you ask. And you can't seem to not smoke weed. You can't seem to go to school. You can't seem to not hang around these couple of knuckleheads that she or he tells you not to hang around because she know they're bad for you. That's what the Lord is doing. The Lord said, don't eat pork because it's bad for you. The Lord ain't about to be walking around with diabetes. The Lord don't get high blood pressure. He doesn't care. He doesn't care if you pass out. Well, he does. That's why he told you not to do it. But the Lord is finna suffer because you don't want to stop eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. The Lord is not going to suffer. He ordained that for you. Catfish, like you can't stop eating catfish. That's what this verse is talking about. It said the Lord loved Israel for what?
Forever.
Lord said he loved us forever. Is there some more on that verse? Go ahead.
Therefore made he thee king to do judgment and justice.
He said, and therefore, why can't you just be just? Why can't you be just? The Lord loves you forever. You can't seem to not finesse your brother. You have got to get that extra $3. Not to hate your sister because she done snuck off with your favorite dress. Not to hate your uncle because he ain't pay you back that $20. Come on, man. That is ridiculous. Israel needs to be ashamed of themselves. And every nation, that's why the Lord is allowing us to go through this hell in a such that no nation have ever seen before. Ain't no nation went through no slavery like how we going through slavery. They talk about the Holocaust. Holocaust was nothing compared to the transatlantic slave trade. Just that by itself. Forget about the 300 years that we dwelled here. Forget about all the rape, the murders, the pillaging, the Jim Crow laws, all the heinous and atrocities that they committed against us. Forget about all of that. The Holocaust can't compare to the transatlantic slave trade. What nation can compare to our slavery? The Holocaust can't even compare to Egypt. And this slavery is worse than Egypt. And the Lord said, come on, man, don't celebrate Christmas. Don't celebrate Halloween, Thanksgiving. Here, celebrate Purim, the Feast of Purim. Celebrate the Hanukkah. Celebrate Passover. You act like the Lord didn't give you a substitute. You act like the Lord didn't have something in place for you to kill and chill and kick it and commune with your brothers and sisters. You act like the Lord is just some brick wall that don't care about you. Come on, man. What time? And with that, that's my time, Israel. This we are the Isupk coming out of 125th Street and 1 West, Harlem, New York. We are not affiliated with no other Israelite group on the face of the planet Earth. You know, we got Sharpen the Sword Radio every Sunday. One of the hottest radio shows hosted by Captain DeBarger Bar of the Isupk St. Louis. You know, that's every Sunday at 11 o'clock. You know, we got the access numbers that you can call into. You can get on Facebook. You can get on YouTube to view that radio show. You know, tune in to the meme of the week. You know, we also, you know, of course, under Commander General Yohana, we feed the poor constantly. You know, with these great sisters in this school, you know, in the schools, all the schools all over the country and some outside of the country, you know, we all got food drives and damn near every major city in this country. So, you know, with that being said, our food drive in St. Louis is every first and last Friday of every month. You know, of course, you could come in class, get you some clothes, get you some hygiene, get you some shoes if you need it. But, you know, the official food drive is every last and first Friday of the month at 1 p.m. You know, on the corner of Delmar and Union, that's 5261 Delmar Boulevard, Suite A. You will see all the signs outside, the ISUPK, the Shield of David. You will see all of those signs. So, you know, come help us out. You know, if you have extra, come drop it off. You know, come drop it off to help your people. You know, it's time for Israel to come together. And with that, that's my time. Shalom, Israel.